Hey there, welcome to my channel. It's me, my dude. This video is going to be a bit of a special one as it's going to take quite a bit of effort. I mean, I'm pretty sure I spent multiple hours on this video, maybe even 10. But that's not what this video is about. I'm not here to brag. We're making a series of complete beginner guides for Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. That's probably why you're here. So, I haven't exactly seen people make guides like this, not as in-depth as the one that I'm trying to make. So, I thought it would be a good idea to make one. I'm going to do my best to make sure that this is going to be a very in-depth guide about all the different systems, all the different things that there is to Dokkan. This video is hopefully going to help guide you in the right direction if you are completely new to Dokkan Battle. And hopefully the experienced players that are watching this will get to learn a detail or two from this video and future videos, or at least get some entertainment out of it. This video will be part of a series of a few videos, maybe 5, maybe 10, who knows, in which we'll go over team building, clearing different pieces of content, when to summon and when to save, all the different resources in the game, and so much more. But for this video, I decided to stick to the basics of what a beginner needs to know and what a beginner needs to do right now. If you're new to the channel, I'm a Dokkan Battle content creator that does showcases, summons, guides, news, and so much more. And if you're into Dokkan, trying to get into Dokkan, or if any of those types of contents that I mentioned seem interesting to you, you should definitely subscribe and hit that bell in order to see future videos whenever they come out. But enough about me. You're probably baffled right now. You're a hopeless beginner, and we're going to try to shape you into an absolute Dokkan Battle Chad. In this video, we're going to tackle the user interface, or at least the parts of it that you will use, some different types of content, as well as what to do as a beginner when you're just starting your first account. Maybe it's a free-to-play account, maybe it's a pay-to-win account, depends on what you're trying to do. We'll see over time. So sit tight, relax, and I would recommend you to grab, your laptop, PC, tablet, Nintendo DS, Game Boy, whatever you can, and open Dokkan on your phone, so that we can go over things together in real time. If not, grab a paper, so take notes, cause this will be a doozy. Maybe not this video, but in general, this series will be a doozy. So as your very first thing you need to learn, you should be able to easily move around in the interface. You should be able to know where the things you want are and how to use them properly. So let's just stick to the basics. Early on, the home screen and the team screen will be your absolute best friends. You won't really explore other menus all that much, besides maybe buying a couple things a day from the exchange shop. Oh, we'll go over the exchange shop or the Baba shop in another video. But hey, speaking of best friends, let's look at the friends menu. On the home screen, you can click on this menu button in order to access a lot of menus that you probably won't give a shit about in the long run. But here's the friends button. That's the big thing. This right here is my friends code. Feel free to send me a request if you want to. I'll see if I'll accept depending on how many spaces I have free and what kind of units you have. You use your friends' units in battle in order to earn friend points as a separate leader, which are then used in the friends summon for a lot of important materials. So, what you should draw from this: friends are good, friends with good units as friends are good, friend points are good, and you want a lot of friend points to get some of those valuable resources. And the snowball just kinda rolls on from there. Around the start button, which is big and large and blue and shiny and you want to click on it, but not right now, there's the news button, which has, well, news. It's nice to check this from time to time to know what's going on, but I'd rather have new players watch YouTube for news on Dokkan when things happen, And that's basically a lot more important. Definitely not plugging my content here. You can also see the gift button for your gifts. Claim these whenever you've got the chance, because you're gonna get some of them daily, as well as some things that you obtain in-game will be sent to your inbox. The Shenron button is for the Dragon Ball system. You gather Dragon Balls in the game's story mode, and you get wishes once you gain 7 of them. I recommend grabbing the wish that gives you support item slots as often as you can, and once you've maxed them out, grab the wish that gives out Dragon Stones. All the other ones aren't worth it. You'd like to get the Dragon Stone one every single time, but there's a limited amount of Shenron summons you can do, and the one that increases your support item slots is exclusive and you won't be able to get this anywhere else, so you really want to get those first. But if you haven't gotten them, it's not horrible, don't worry, more story will be added and you'll be able to fix your horrible mistake, and hopefully not make things like that in the future. When you click the start button, you can see multiple menus, out of which most of them are going to be completely useless for you now. You're going to see the quest button, which is the game's story. This is the mode you'll be stuck in for a while, depending on how much time you play every day. You want to completely clear this out, get all the stones, do the missions for Supreme Kai whenever you can, whenever that's possible, since they do require you to do a little bit more complicated stuff that we're going to get into over time, so don't worry if you don't understand them right now. Get those Dragon Balls, all that stuff. That's your first goal as a new player. Be done with the story as soon as possible to get those support item slots and to stack up on so many freaking Dragon Stones. I don't know exactly how many you can get, but I will try to find the possible number. You might see it on screen right now. The event tab will be used from time to time, especially the story and growth parts. There's challenge and Z battle, but they're end game, although you will have to beat the Dokkan events in challenge at some point. It's a bit hard to get your first Dokkan events defeated, so another video in this guide series will be a guide on how to beat your first few Dokkan events. But the biggest thing in your events tab is your daily and weekly events. Under the growth tab, you'll find some events that are important to do whenever available, as they give you either limited resources or an abundance on non-limited resources. Hercule's World Tournament, for example, gives a lot of Zenny, which will drain quickly for new players as you'll need it for a lot of things. Turtle's School Training offers a lot of training items, which again, you'll need to stack up on over time because as a beginner, you won't have a giant backlog of them. Hidden Potential events, they're also available daily, and they have different types available each day based on which type the day is for. We're going to go over that later. And orbs are limited, so you should never miss out on them. They're very important. You might not notice that now, but you will notice that later. There are also 2 events you need to do every week instead of every day. The B-Pan event offers you rank experience, and it'll help skyrocket your rank early on. You'll have to spend a bit of time in the story mode before you get enough stamina to challenge this event though. But don't worry, you'll easily get the necessary rank in under a week. The other one is the Whis event, which offers pieces of equipment. We'll go over these later in a guide to power up your units, but you know that they're very limited, that's what you need to know, and you should do the stage every time you possibly can. If you're lacking in these resources, they also have infinitely repeatable versions in the same growth tab, although maybe less efficient. In the story tab, the events that show a green story button are some sweet stuff for new players. If your team is Z Awakened at max level, we'll go over what these are later, you should easily be able to clear these. They offer a great amount of stones and have a farmable free-to-play units in every single story event to obtain and max out, which will make for great team additions in the beginning of your journey. Some even further on, like some story units are very, very good. That's pretty much all the content you need to do as a new player. Once you're done with that, make sure to either wait for my mid-game guide for Dokkan or go to it if it's posted. If it's posted, it'll be in a card right about now. So if you haven't seen an eye in the corner, then, well, it's not posted. I'll go over how to power up the units in a future video, more in depth, but for now you need to be able to keep up with the content I gave you. You should probably know about leveling and awakening, because those are very important early on. Leveling up your units takes Zenny, and you can use training partners, training items, and training locations to level them up. I need to warn you, this isn't like Legends, if you're coming from that game, because the game has trouble right now. Training partners will be lost. Other than that, you put resources into your unit and level it up. Pretty simple. As a bit of an extra tip, never directly max your unit while leveling up. Leave a few levels not leveled up, as you could get what is called a super success, which is a random chance to increase your output. Once your card is at max level, you can Z Awakening them using Awakening Medals. These are obtained in the growth stage specifically for them, as well as, well, literally everywhere else. You'll have a fair bit of them, definitely enough to awaken your first few units. A Z-Awakened unit becomes very powerful, receives the Extreme or Super tag, which defines whether or not they're a villain, and they will go up one rarity tier. Normal units will go up to Rare, Rare to SR, SR to SSR, SSR to UR, UR to LR, through Dokkan Awakening, which we will go over in the future. That's just Z-Awakening with special medals, so it's not that complicated, don't worry. Well, that should be all as far as what you need to know to be an absolute beginner. Take this knowledge, go to your story, try to beat as much of it as possible as well as the special missions, get some of your first Z-Awakened max level units on, well, any team you can kinda make right now, and grind some free characters up. In the next video, we'll work on teaching you a lot of nice info about the battle system, and that video is a little bit simpler to make, so it might even be out by now. So, how should you go about watching this series? In the description you will find a link to a playlist that contains all the videos currently available. There should also be right now on the screen the next video on the series, which should be about the battle system. If you don't see these, or you are done with the videos that are currently posted, just wait until I post new ones. We'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that happens, and hopefully you keep Dokkaning on.